You know that person, right? The one who treats their birthday like just another Tuesday. Or, hey, maybe that person is you. Well, it turns out there's some really fascinating psychology going on there. And trust me, it's not what you think.
So why do some people do that? I mean, our first guess is usually that they're sad or maybe just not a party person. But the truth? Oh, it's way more complex and, honestly, a lot more revealing about who they are.
Right, so let's just get the common myths out of the way first. It's not because they're cold or ungrateful or secretly sad. Psychology actually tells us that's almost never the reason. Those are just, well, they're just wrong. Instead, what we're looking at is a really fascinating psychological profile. It's like a little window into how someone is wired, and it shows you a whole lot more than just how they feel about cake and candles. Yeah, it actually reveals a ton about their personality, their values, their whole inner world. So let's dive in. We're going to break down the 6 core reasons why some brains are just wired to see their birthday as, just another day.
Okay, so the first couple of reasons, they're all about where their energy goes. It's focused inward, not outward. It really boils down to 2 things: validation and reflection.
Okay, reason number 1. For a lot of us, right, birthdays are fun because we get attention, we feel celebrated. But for these folks, their self-worth just isn't tied to that outside feedback. Their value, it comes from the inside. So they don't need a special day to feel important. And there's actually a psychological term for this. It's called low social dependency. It's basically a key trait of people who are really emotionally independent. Their sense of who they are is stable, and it comes from within, not from what other people think. And you can really see the difference here, right? On one hand, you've got this need for outside attention and praise. But on the other, you have a sense of self-worth that's totally internal, totally independent. For them, a date on the calendar doesn't define their value.
All right, that brings us to reason number 2. For some people, another year going by isn't a signal to throw a party. Nope. Instead, it kicks off this really deep internal process of self-evaluation.
Their mind just automatically starts asking those big questions. Where am I in life? What's changed this year? What hasn't? And it's important to note this isn't a sad thing. It's a meaningful thing. For them, a quiet day just thinking is way more valuable than a big, loud party. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. The next couple of reasons have to do with the outside world, the whole social side of birthdays. We're talking pressure and performance. I mean, think about it. Birthdays have this social script, right? A bunch of expectations. And for some people, having to perform that role is just exhausting. It's not exciting, it's draining. They're just way more comfortable when things are natural and spontaneous. Yeah, this is basically the birthday script, isn't it? Step 1, be happy. Step 2, celebrate. Step 3, host people. It can feel like a total performance. And if you're someone who really values authenticity, just having a normal day feels so much more peaceful. In this next one, reason 4 is a really important point. It's not about being shy or insecure. It's just their brain isn't wired to crave the spotlight. Being the center of everyone's attention can feel genuinely, deeply uncomfortable. In fact, being the center of attention can trigger something psychologists call mild social vigilance. It's basically the state of being hyper-aware of all the eyes on you, all the expectations. And as you can imagine, that's incredibly draining. A normal day? So much more relaxing, so much less of a performance. All right, we're on to our final 2 reasons. These are all about the quality of connection and the need for emotional balance. So for these folks, one deep, meaningful conversation on a random Tuesday means so much more than 100 superficial happy birthday comments on social media. Psychologists call this a quality over ritual preference. Exactly. They'll choose a real, spontaneous moment over a forced, calendar-based obligation every single time. It's all about the authenticity of the connection, not just going through the motions of a tradition. And our last reason, number 6. This one is subtle, but it's really powerful. It's all about keeping an even emotional keel. Some brains are actually wired to avoid big emotional spikes. And that goes for positive ones too, because big highs are often followed by big crashes. Now, this doesn't mean they're detached. It's actually a super smart form of mental self-regulation. By keeping the day low-key, they stay balanced and avoid that emotional roller coaster. You could almost call it a kind of psychological self-preservation. So, when we put all of this together, what do we see? Treating your birthday like any other day, it's not a sign of sadness or not caring. Not at all. It's actually a sign of a very specific kind of psychological strength. So listen, if this is all sounding really familiar, if this is you, you're not strange.
You're not broken. Your mind is just wired a little differently, and that wiring points towards some really, really positive traits.
Yeah, your psychology leans toward things like independence, deep reflection, emotional balance, and a really strong sense of self-awareness. I mean, these are qualities that show you know yourself on a level that, honestly, a lot of people just never get to.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about, right? Whether you throw a massive party or just spend the day quietly, the only thing that really matters is what feels authentic to you. So it's worth asking yourself, what does a genuine celebration actually look like for you?